Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So Sebastian Fundora, aka the Towering Inferno, is returning on October 8th versus Carlos Ocampo, who is famous for being Earl Spence Jr.'s mandatory at one point in time for the IBF title. I actually went to that fight. It was in Frisco at the Star, right here in the Metroplex. And, Earl Spence stopped him in the first round with a vicious body shot. So we didn't actually get a chance to see a whole lot of Ocampo, but since then he's been on a 12-fight win streak. So hadn't really fought anybody, might I add, you know what I'm saying? But he have won 12 in a row, and I guess that was enough to land him in this position to fight a rising star like Sebastian Fundora. And I want to talk about this simply because, number one, I'm a huge fan of Sebastian Fundora. I think Sebastian Fundora is absolutely phenomenal. I think he is just an incredible fighter when it comes to just action. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to putting punches together, throwing punches in bunches, extremely high work rate, got a nice little chin on him. We've seen him hurt a couple of times, but dude's strong, and he got that heart, he got that dog in him. I love watching Sebastian Fundora fight. And on top of that, he's fighting at 154, and the dude is almost 6'6", 6'7". He's between 6'5" and 6'7". I don't think nobody really know his real height. The motherfucker tall. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a glaring difference between himself and the opposition when he's in the ring. You feel me? That's the first thing you gonna notice before the bell ring or when the bell rings, is that this motherfucker look like he supposed to be at another division. You feel what I'm saying? So all of these things surrounding Fundora is what makes him, I think, a fan-friendly fighter. Somebody who brings attention, somebody who will bring fanfare. So I love watching him fight. And I'm excited to see what he looks like after coming off his biggest win of his career, beating a guy who I respect so much in Erickson Lubin. I think Erickson Lubin is a very gifted fighter who really showed his mettle and his heart in that fight versus Fundora. Fundora ended up winning that fight by I think it was the 9th or 10th round TKO. The ref had to, I think actually Coach Cunningham had to throw in the towel, man. He seen Erickson Lubin's face looking disfigured, you know what I'm saying, looking like, my man Martin off of, when he fought Tommy Hearns. You did what I'm saying? Raw dog, you feel me? But, shout out to Erickson Lubin, because that brother did his motherfucking thing in that fight. He came back. A lot of guys would have folded, and he lost that fight on his feet. You feel what I'm saying? So the reason I'm shedding light on that is because that also adds to how much dog Sebastian Fundora got, because he wasn't in that motherfucker with somebody who just gonna lay down. He was in there with somebody who, number one, is just as skilled, if not more skilled. If we just talking about pure skill, I think Erickson Lubin was the more skilled fighter in that fight. However, Sebastian Fundora stylistically had an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Stylistically, I think the matchup favored him. The work rate, the relentlessness, the power, the punching combinations, all of his ability. I just think we saw the better man on that night win. But that's just a testament to Sebastian Fundora, because for him to do what he did to Erickson Lubin, like literally, he beat him up. You feel me? He literally beat him up. Lubin came back and knocked him down. And I mean, that, in my opinion, I think that's fight of the year. You know what I'm saying? That's my vote for fight of the year. Unless we see something else for the rest of this year that's on that level, that's my vote for fight of the year. So that's how incredible that fight was. And Sebastian Fundora, I think he learned a lot in that fight. I think he got better. I think mentally he's stronger because of having to go through that. And I want to see how he looks in his return after that. Now, one thing I want to say is with Carlos Ocampo. I mentioned that he did win 12 in a row. However, he hadn't been fighting anybody. The same level of competition that he was fighting before he got the Earl Spence fight. He was undefeated when he fought Earl. Earl Spence, the only guy he's ever lost to. But the same level of competition that he was fighting before then, that's who he been fighting in these 12 fights. And I don't think he's gotten any better. I watched a little bit of film on him from his most recent fights. And I mean, I just don't think he got any chance in hell of beating Sebastian Fundora. I think Fundora is going to hurt this man real bad. And Ocampo is one of those guys he liked to sit there and exchange with you, which is what fucked him up versus Earl Spence. I mean, that was inevitable. That was going to happen. But, you know, it probably would have took a little bit more time than the first round if he would have boxed a little bit or used a little bit more movement. You know what I'm saying? He actually dared Earl Spence to come forward at the press conference before the fight. He said, I dare him to come forward. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what Earl did and got him up out of there. And Sebastian Fundora is going to do the same damn thing. He going to come forward and he going to put the beats on him. Now, I wonder if this type of matchup for Fundora can be a detriment to him. Because coming off of a victory, I know you just had a hard fight. The fight with Lubin was a hard fight. And I understand sometimes you need soft touches. But with Fundora, I think he's where he's at in his career, 24 years old? Very young fighter. You know what I'm saying? Where he's at in his career, I think he should be trending upward. And that's in every aspect of his game. That's with level of competition as well. Because look at who he is aiming to get in the ring with. This fight is a stepping stone for the Lubin fight was a stepping stone for him to get towards an undisputed title shot with the Charlo. You feel what I'm saying? So I wonder if this type of matchup can be a detriment to him because I truly don't believe Ocampo got anything for Sebastian Fundora. I think it's going to get bad in there. Ocampo going to go in there and he's going to try to come forward and he going to get beat up real bad. And you know, Sebastian Fundora don't got no off button. That motherfucker can go. For 12 rounds, he can go. You hurt him, you knock him down, he getting back up, he can go. You feel me? So I would have liked to see Sebastian Fundora get in there with a Castaño. You know what I'm saying? I know Castaño just had a hard fight. He probably he got stopped by Charlo. I think he probably gonna take some time off, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Teixeira. You feel me? A J-Rock. I would have loved to see Fundora versus Erislandy Lara. I know he moved up to 160, but I'm pretty sure he would have entertained the idea of fighting Sebastian Fundora with his name ringing bells right now. There's a bevy of different guys that I would have liked to see Sebastian Fundora in the ring with to prepare him for a Charlo. Because getting in the ring with somebody like Charlo, you gonna have to be on your shit. You gonna have to be ready. You can't skip the line and then get in there with Jamel. You have to make sure that you are fully developed. People gotta understand, man, Charlo is a seasoned veteran. This guy has seen every style you can think of. He's been coached by Ronnie Shields. And for years, it's been coached by, in my opinion, the best boxing coach and trainer and teacher of the skill and art of boxing right now in Derrick James. Training alongside Earl the True Spence Jr. Training alongside his brother, Jamal Charlo, who is currently still undefeated. You feel what I'm saying? This guy is in his prime. 31 years old. 31, 32. Done seen it all. Got everything you want in a fighter. Hand speed. Power, punching power. Got a great chin. Boxing ability. Foot movement. Little bit of defense on him. And he got that dog in him. And he can make adjustment. And he's coached by the best. So when you get in a ring with somebody like that, I believe that you need to be as prepared as possible. And I just don't. And Jamel is about to fight his mandatory as of right now because Fundora is in line. But Tim Tszyu had his turn next because he stepped aside and allowed Castaño and Jermell Charlo to do the rematch for Undisputed. You feel what I'm saying? So if Jermell Charlo going to take care of Tim Tszyu, like I believe he will, next in line is going to be Sebastian Fundora, most likely. And coming off of a Carlos Ocampo fight, I don't know if that prepares you for Jermell Charlo. I don't know if that makes you better. And you have to continue to trend upward when you this young and you getting in there with somebody like a Jermell Charlo. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Sebastian Fundora approaches this fight. You know, if he goes in there lackadaisical, not really respecting Ocampo, goes in there and looks like shit. Or if he goes in there and handles his business, which I think he will, and obliterates Ocampo, get him out of there. But again, I think he should be in fights where he's learning something, where he's building, where he's getting better. And I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that being in a matchup where he vastly overpowers his opponent in every category, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything that Carlos Ocampo does better than Sebastian Fundora. Maybe a jab. Ocampo got a decent little jab on him. Maybe the jab, but that's it. And I don't think that's enough in this matchup. It's just not enough. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. What do y'all think about Sebastian Fundora, having his second headliner, main event fight? And I think that's dope that he's now officially a main event fighter. He main evented versus Erickson Lubin, and now he's doing his own main event headline and shit. So that's what's up. But y'all let me know what y'all think. How you feel about this fight? Do you think this is a good look for Fundora? Do you think this will help him going forward in a possible matchup with Jermell Charlo? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.